This army is easy and simple, and in today's video, we'll be showcasing why the E-Dragons are one of the best air strategies at the top of Legends. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. First up is going to be on one of the common double rage bases at the top of Legends. Now, as you can kind of see the sweepers angle, they are kind of pointing towards the eagle and covering both of the scatter shots. So he is starting a flank flanger on that bottom right hand corner. Good notice there on that flank flanger onto the cannon, realizing that if it shoots the cannon, it will damage the air defense, wizard tower, and most importantly, the mortars, because as the mortars are the main threats for flank flangers there. So he does invest a freeze there right off the bat. I probably would tweak the army to where you can have some barbs and archers. That way, if you are to tank a mortar or pull a skeleton trap, you can easily be able to deal with that So as you can see, giant arrow right off the rip there for a sweeper, and of course it did take that building right behind the sweeper. Now he is going to be able to get right into all three of these heroes, and of course the model and the CC is getting dealt with. Now he is saving that warding ability to where he could utilize it through the core. As you can see, all of these damages are going to be towards that backside of the base after that town hall. So in addition to that, he utilizes the king in a way to where it absorbs the damage so that the queen and the healer puppet can actually survive through that. Loons coming out of the flame flanger, and that is probably just because he could be flexible with a blimp or slammer, or of course in this case as he utilized a flame flanger there. So World Champion with the spear picked off the multi. It is going to be able to pick off the rest of these defenses to be able to wrap this up for a triple. So pretty fast attack there under a 2-minute mark, but again, flame flanger for one side, heroes on the other side. It kept all of the E-Dragons in the middle of the base, which makes this army super strong when you can keep all of the dragons pushing through the core and all working together as well. So really nice triple on the very first attack. Let's just jump right into the next one. To follow that up, we are jumping right next into the double poison base. Now, personally, in my opinion, double poison bases are going to be a lot easier than double rage bases. But what do I know? I am a rocket balloon attacker with fireball. But nonetheless, there, as you can see, sweeper is taking out from the giant arrow and then immediately dropping that king to kind of want to tank and absorb those defenses so that the queen can move along there. So you can see the instant double rage with all of those balloons and a slammer and the early warding ability just to push all of those troops through the core, and of course for the balloons to be able to absorb all of those traps there. So you can see the queen value there. You can see there's really no second layer damage that could really pick this queen off. As you can see, like the warden, the enemy king, they're all accessible behind where she is walking, which makes this army really nice and especially good for him because he's able to identify that, for him to be able to push his heroes around the base to keep them alive. Not to mention the E-Dragons were able to wipe through the core without any problems there. World Champion coming in with the Seeking Shield, and of course you could see that Rocket Sphere coming on under a minute and 40. So really fast attack here for E-Dragons. Not like time really matters, but this just goes to show the power and the speed of this particular army when it comes to this for Legends. So really nice attack here on a double poison base. Ring base, really nice, showcasing how efficient and strong this really can be when the heroes are working together. So let's go ahead and proceed with the very next one. Moving along, here is going to be a double poison box base. As you can see right off the bat there, utilize the freeze just to be able to use a flame flanger. I think it's a pretty nice flame flanger value just because after that mortar, that whole left side is essentially free there. So really nice there. Unfortunate you have to invest the freeze there, but not like the freeze really matters when you have 5 of them. So he has 4 left, and he is going to start that flank flanger working on that left side. I'm presuming he's going to want to enter into one of the scatter. I'm assuming the RC one, since he kind of sent a early flank flanger there. So he did use a giant arrow. Fortunately, giant arrow didn't quite get the sweeper, but not like it's going to be that big of a problem. It is going to be pretty nice sailing into the base. You can see double rage there. It is kind of keeping all of the dragons in. That sweeper did get one push off, which then pushes half of those dragons on the bottom side, and the border does stick. Looks like it is going to stick on that bottom side instead of that top pack, and then the town hall is where it will slightly become the problem. But if he can manage to get the CC and the mono down, he will be able to swarm the base with the heroes around the base there. So Town Hall is still up, but the Flame Flanger can kind of potentially damage it. Now he is going to get some shots off of there. I'm not quite sure if that Builder Hut actually is in range. It is, so heroes are moving around the base there. He's got his queen there. His world champion with the spear is still intact. If he needs to get the Town Hall from the backside, he actually can. So he still has queen ability. Queen being able to reach that expo is going to help a lot, because now that queen will not be a threat anymore, or that expo being down is going to preserve the queen to where she could survive for that hit, because she doesn't have her ability because of the giant arrow. Nonetheless, their king ability still intact. He can use the earthquake boots, I believe, with that spiky ball to help alleviate that opening for the queen to come around there. He has World Champion in the pocket. He still has that Flame Flanger, which is great, being able to get a couple shots off. And with the RC ability, this is going to wrap it up for a triple. Really nice, I would say, really nice adjustment there, ending on the Town Hall. This just goes to show the power of the hero, because without the spiky ball, earthquake boots, without that World Champion's ability, that Town Hall probably would have stayed up and resulted in 1 star. But GG's there, and let's go ahead and proceed to the next one. Another double poison box base, but this one is actually quite compact. As you can see, all of these defenses are at least within 1 tiles of each other, which makes EDRAGS very likely to be kind of strong there. So it did giant arrow at the top of the base. I did think he got the sweeper that's facing where he's entering, so really nice there, being able to get that. Now the back end of the base, you can see multis, monolith, and air defense, air expos, which kind of makes the dragons harder there, but as long as the chain can get the value there, he will be perfectly fine. So balloons actually getting down that Town Hall there from the blimp. As you can see, E-Dragon's moving towards the bottom, E-Dragon's moving towards the top. He is pushing the king and the queen through the top side of the base. He's trying to turn these E-Dragons back to the core, which he does a great job there. But really nice being able to turn the dragons back. He's going to have to freeze the core, otherwise the E-Dragon gets shredded from the poison. But yes, very nice job there so far with the spell utilization. Now he is coming in with the World Champion on that backside to pick off some of these air threats, as they are picking the dragons off. That core scatter shot and that multi-archer tower is picking the dragons off again. So yes, very nice with the 5 freezes, I guess. That means you can just freeze the whole base after the warning ability to keep the heroes alive. He still has that World Champion still alive. He's got the king ability still working at the very end, especially with the spiky ball. It is going to make the attack very easy towards the end. He's got a queen healer puppet, and of course the warden. This again just goes to show the power of the heroes. Giant arrow to kill some of the defenses or any threats that could be potential for E-Dragons, and then putting the king, the tank, and absorb for that queen to keep her up. With the spiky ball and earthquake boot, just opens the base even more for the heroes. So really nice attack there with the earthquakes and spiky ball swag at the end. And of course, this is going to be another 40 cups on the board. Lastly, it is going to be on an Invis Rage box base, and of course this is Aham. So really nice giant arrow right off the bat there, because able to not only pick off Invis but both of those sweepers, which makes any entry point at this point beyond that fairly easy there. He is doing dragons and then immediately throwing his balloons behind with the blimp to catch everything inside of that warden abilities, just so the balloons can get in front of the E-Dragons and to be able to pull any potential traps there. So we get the blimps, makes it to the hall with the early rage. CC does have headhunters, look like ice golem potentially, since nothing else came out. And with the queen standing there, it is unfortunately going to pull out the double ice golems there, but shouldn't be the end of the world there, because the split with the dragons going to the mono and one of the chains from that rage tower is going to be able to pick off that multi. Heroes with the dragons being able to clear off what's there, the heroes are going to be able to wrap around the base. And again, you can see the expo was reachable, which makes this attack even better for the heroes, because then heroes are going to be able to stay up for the remaining of the attack there. So still king ability intact, and of course the world champion, which does have the seeking shield and of course that spear, which makes this very easy. Because with the spiky ball and the earthquake boots are going to be finishing off the remaining of the defenses. You can see all 4 heroes to clean the rest of the base there. So really nice attacks here from Spiz, and thanks again for him to allow us to cover those attacks. That would do it for us here today. If you guys like this video, go ahead and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for videos just like this. Of course, I will also go ahead and share the army composition that Spiz used and the equipments that he had on all of his heroes. And again, thanks to him for allowing us to cover those attacks as well. But that'll do it for me today. Until next time, I'll catch you all in the very next one. Go stop.